Welcome to our island. I am glad you have taken an interest in our stories. I want to tell you why I love this land so much, and maybe if you see it with my eyes, you will come to love it just as much. I have been blessed with a very special life, and the greatest gift of all. It was here that love found me, here, in this very house.
Σε είδε κανείς?
Μην ανησυχείς. Κινήθηκα σαν γάτος.
Πιο πολύ σαν σκύλος μάλλον. Σαν κουτάβι.
Σωστά. Θα σε ακολουθούσα παντού.
Θα με ακολουθούσε στην Αθήνα?
Τι?
Ή στο Παρίσι? Ο πατέρας Σόλγκερ θα μπορούσε να μας βοηθήσει.
I felt Giabatis before I even heard him. He stepped up and drew his arms around me. It was the 2nd of June 1699. My mother believed I was learning French, the language of kings, with the Jesuit abbot Father Solger. She would have killed me if she knew what I was really doing. It was the perfect place, the only place we could meet on this island that had eyes everywhere. Giabatis was a Barrozzi, one of the demons that had taken everything from my family. They had killed my father, stole our land and our goats. To my mother, he was a son of the devil himself. To me, he was the world.
Είσαι ακόμα εδώ. Πρέπει να φύγω για την πόλη.
Father Robert was on the edge. Pirates had attacked the town, he said. Now he wanted to go and help.
Είχαν δημιουργήσει ακόμα ένα πειρατικό καράβι από την Anoussa.
Αν ερχόμασταν ξανά την επόμενη εβδομάδα?
Άκου, αυτό είναι πολύ επικίνδυνο.
The Jesuit was different than the other Frankish priests that had walled themselves up in the castro. A man of the world, a friend to the French king himself. He had understood and agreed to help me. But that night, even he was giving up on us.
Θα είμαστε πιο προσεκτικοί.
Πρέπει να μιλήσει τη μητέρα σου.
Θα με σκοτώσει. Και τους δυο μας θα σκοτώσει. Σας παρακαλώ.
Όχι. Προετοιμάστε τη γλώσσα και προσέξτε να είστε μόνοι.
Πάμε.
Θα σε συνοδεύσω.
Giabatis insisted on walking me home. But what was the point? Was there ever a future for us? A future without blood and gashing wounds? My heart sank when we set out on our walk back to Potamia, back to my prison. We had already passed the first houses and he still hadn't left me.
Πρέπει να φύγεις. Φύγε.
Οι βοσκοί παίρνουν τα κουδουνάκια και πάνε προς τα βουνά.
He just walked on, his lower lip trembling. We heard the shepherds take their bells to the mountains like they always did when danger was near, to fool the pirates.
Είσαι τρελός. Αν μας δει κανείς?
Δεν μπορώ να φύγω έτσι.
Suddenly he stopped me and held me by the arm.
Δεν μπορώ να σε αφήσω να φύγεις.
I am not letting you go, he said. If the pirates come here, tomorrow we could all be dead. Tomorrow we could all be dead. I had read the words 1,000 times on the sigil above our door. Remember your death.
Οι πειρατές μπορεί να έρθουν εδώ. Αύριο μπορεί να είμαστε νεκροί. Θέλω να μείνω μαζί σου.
I want to stay with you, he said. My stomach balled up like a stone, like standing at the edge of a cliff. That was when I knew. Nothing would ever be the same anymore.
Εντάξει. Άλλο ένα τρομακτικό παραμύθι με πειρατές. Μην τρομάξεις αυτή τη φορά.
Έλα τώρα.
So I just laughed. I think I told him the story of Merimenus Fedari, about the body that the pirates left hanging in a tree near Philoti, after he had refused to tell them where his village had hidden. His corpse smelled of basil when they found him, and so did the tree, to this very day. There was a ghost story that my mother used to tell me, the story of the ghost of Markopolitis Tower. It was the story of a girl who had fallen in love with the wrong boy. Whatever her father said, no matter how he locked her up behind the highest window of the tower, she always found a way to meet him. Her father was furious. It was the 30th day of the month when her father found out that she had arranged for another secret meeting. And some say she wanted to run away forever that night. Nobody knows whether she jumped or whether she was pushed.
Προφανώς την έσπρωξε. Όλοι το ξέρουν αυτό.
Στορκίζομαι ότι μια μέρα θα είμαι εγώ αυτό το κορίτσι και θα στοιχιώσω αυτό το μέρος.
Probably she was pushed. Now every 30th day of the month, her ghost can be seen haunting the tower, looking to meet her lover. I always thought that was going to be me, and one day I would also come back to haunt the ruins of our tower.
Πρόκειται να είσαι ένα τόσο όμορφο φάντασμα. Θα ξεπροβάλλεις από την κήτη του ποταμού.
Και θα απαγάγω όμορφους νέους άντρες σαν εσένα και θα τους κάνω να ερωτεύονται τρελά μαζί μου.
We hid between the oleander bushes, trying to put off the inevitable, as if we could stay children forever. But our days as children were over. When we had almost reached the tower, we heard shouts from the village. Somebody had seen us.
Δεν με νοιάζει.
Θα σου κάνουν κακό. Σε παρακαλώ.
Όχι. Θα μείνω μαζί σου.
Σε παρακαλώ, πρέπει να φύγεις.
No matter what I said, he would not leave. And I felt it too. There was a chain tying our hearts together that was simply too strong.
Φύγε. Σε κλιπαρώ.
Έλα μαζί μου.
Come with me, he said. I looked up at the tower. Somewhere up here was my mother, eaten up by her anger at the Barrozzi and the world, dying of fear that she could lose me as well, her only treasure, the only thing that kept her alive.
Εδώ είναι.
Τους βλέπω.
Είναι ο Giabatis Barozzi.
Αυτό το σκουπίδι.
Πιάστε τον.
Ανούσα, σ' αγαπώ. Έλα μαζί μου. Είναι τώρα ή ποτέ.
On the other side of that mountain lay my future, a life with Giabatis, or an abyss that would swallow us both. I took his hand and we ran. Turning back, I saw my mother in the highest window and heard her voice, like she had told me so many times before. Don't hurt your father's bones. Giabatis clutched his arm. I saw blood well up between his fingers, dark red, the color of cherries. He had been hit with an arrow.
Έλα.
On the other side of the mountain lay Halki with the Barozzi tower. If we wanted to survive, we had to make it to the tower. We started to run like I had never run before. The path was so steep. I felt as if someone had lodged a dagger between my ribs. At the bottom of the road, I could see my brothers gaining on us with 3 of the guards. They had drawn their swords. One of them was loading a crossbow.
Έλα, αγάπη μου. Σε παρακαλώ. Έλα.
Giabatis had gone very silent, stumbling on with his teeth clenched, his face pale as a cloak. Had I lost everything? Was this the end? We stumbled on. We had almost reached the small chapel when another arrow whistled past us.
Σταματήστε! Για όνομα του Θεού, σταματήστε!
Giabatis had somehow found the strength to run, but now my brothers had almost caught up with us. When Halki came into sight, Giabatis' legs buckled under him and I knew we had lost. With our last breath, we dragged ourselves into the church and barricaded the door behind us.
Άνοιξε! Πόρνη! Μας πρόδωσες!
It was only a matter of time until they had found a rock large enough to smash the door. Giabatis had lost so much blood, he could hardly keep his eyes open. I will never forget the moment when he looked up to me.
Ανούσα Κόκκου, Θα με παντρευτείς? Θέλω να σ' ακούσω να λες ναι. Πρότου πεθάνω.
Ναι. Θα σε παντρευτώ.
Anoussa, Kokkos, will you marry me? He asked. I was stunned. I want to hear you say yes before I die. And I said, yes, I do. And this is how we married ourselves. The door burst open. It was Giabatis' brother. The Barrozzi boys had come rushing from Chalki to meet us. When I exited the church, one of our guards lay dead on the ground. My brother was lingering up the hill, his eyes burning with rage, held off by the Barrozzi that had encircled the church. Nobody spoke a word when we exited. The air had turned to glass. Time had stopped, and I felt as if the gods were watching us. As soon as we had cleared the bushes and entered the path to Tsikalario, my knees gave away and I passed out. This is the palace where I lived with Giabatis. I cannot say that his family treated me badly. They kept their distance until my first child was born. But Giabatis kept his promise. He stayed by my side, always, until his last day, when I held his hand up there, in our bedroom. We lived our life full of love and laughter, but only one thing would always make me sad. My mother never saw me again, not once in her life, not even when her grandchildren were born. I hope you understand now why I love this land so much. It carries our stories, it carries our souls, it carries our love. And there is so much love. All we need are the places to feel it.